Hey everybody, so today's video I'm going to remove and reinstall the center console in the E46 project car behind me there. So let's get on, see how it goes. Okay, so we're going to start the removal of the center console here in the E46. I might as well clarify to start with, I did video this as I removed it, but a lot of the video got messed up. So I'm redoing it, but what you're seeing there is actually the reinstalled, refinished, refurbished center console that we're going to just do some of the removal process on. Anyway, just make sure that's clear. That's why it looks so nice and clean and you wonder why I'm taking it out. Second thing to note there, on the driver's side, that door panel, that seat, and you'll see glimpses in the carpet and the footwell there is filthy. There's bits from fast food things and everything in there. I have not touched that. That's as the car was purchased. I haven't touched that yet, so don't judge me. That's hasn't been done. We'll get to that after we get this done here. So it will get cleaned up and it'll look like the passenger side. So anyway, let's get on with getting this console out. Enough chatting. Okay, so removal process for the center console. I'm going to start back here. Get the ashtray out. Just slips out. Nothing special there. You are going to see at this point there are two screws down here. Let's see if I can move this in so you can see that. Go. Two Phillips screws here. We're going to take these out, and then this whole plastic assembly with the little desk drawer type thing in it is going to come out as well. So we'll get those out. So that's what the two screws look like. They got a plastic clip on them here that go in. You take two of those out with your Phillips, and then you're going to pop this out. I've loosened it slightly already here. We're just going to pop this out, and as it comes out you're going to see there's a wire attached here. There's a light for that ashtray bin, so you just unclip that. That's that out of the way. When that's out of the way, your next step, you're going to remove two more screws down here that are holding this piece of plastic trim into the center console. Again, Phillips screw. You see two more screws that'll come out of here. When they're both out, you're just going to come in and you're going to unclip this on either side here, and you're going to unclip this to clear the hinge pins that sit in here, and then you can remove this piece of trim. It'll come out and lift out. You can remove this piece of trim out of here, and that'll let you then start to get this actual padded armrest and this assembly out. So once you get this last piece of plastic trim out and out of the way, it'll reveal this plastic pin. So basically a pin that this whole thing rotates on, and this spring. Now you can see there the spring goes through, he's up to point, goes through a groove here and a groove here, and it's currently at a slight angle because it's engaged. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a pair of like channel locks, and you're going to just rotate it and then pull it out of the groove. Oops, and out it comes. So that's what it's going to look like when it's out. It goes into that slot up there, and that's how you release it, and then you can pop these two pins out. Once you release the spring, you pull these two pins out, you'll be able to remove this upper armrest. Just release the clip so you can remove the padded part there. That'll leave the tray here. And the tray has these two plastic trim pieces here, so you're going to have to unsnap and remove those. So if you open it up, you can come down here and pop these off. There and here. Okay, that's one out. So as you can see, these two clips go in these two slots here, and then there's a tab here and a tab here which engage on either side in these little grooves here. So you just pop those two out of the way, and this just lifts out. So next item to deal with will be the handbrake boot, and that engages around here with simple little push clips here. So you can literally just squeeze this down here and move it up, and then you turn it inside out, and it's going to be sitting here like this, and there'll be a zip tie here from the factory. This is how the factory does it. There's a zip tie here. Just cut the zip tie and it will just slide off. So that's pretty simple. The tray and drink holder here, you can remove at any time because there's nothing under here that holds it. There's a switch here, I think it's hazards and locking, central locking. That's, you'll unplug once you release it here. The only other two screws that are holding this in place now are under here, so you're going to pull this up and you'll look down here and you'll see two screws here and here. Undo those, and it's now the actual center console piece will be free to lift up and out. You see the two tabs there that the screws hold, so it holds the console and this veneer at the same time. They're all sandwiched together. So you do that, you'll lift it up, you'll undo this plug here for the switch, and you'll have the entire center console out of the vehicle. Alright, so getting ready to reinstall the center console. First step is a bit of assembly. So we're going to start with the hazards and central locking switch here. Just two spring-loaded tabs here, so it just drops in, pushes in place like that. Again, like everything else, it's been cleaned and detailed before it's going in. You can see the wire for it right there. That's the wire we're going to hook up as it goes forward. These two tabs are going to slide up under here, and then they'll sandwich all together. And then these two back screws here and here are going to line up with these two clips here and here. And as we put it in, we're going to feed that wire up through that slot there so it can hook up for the light in the back tray. So we'll get that part done first, and then we'll start getting the armrest in. Okay, so two screws in there, wire fed through the slot here, wire's hooked up for the switch, two screws are in up there. The console is basically in place now. So next step for me, I'm going to put the park brake boot back on because it's a little easier to get at before the armrest actually goes into place here. So got the leather boot here, turn it inside out, orient it this way. We're going to slide it over there, and then what we're going to do, we're going to slip the zip tie around here to replace the one we cut off that came from the factory, and then we'll slide it down, clip it into place. Okay, so zip tie on. Now slide it down over here, put it the right way up. Okay, finally have this clipped on. I actually took 2 or 3 tries to get that on there reasonably. Took a slightly heftier zip tie than I was first using. So now all you're going to do is squeeze that and clip this in place here. So push it down at the bottom there, engage it, and then that clip sound. There we go. So leather boot back in place. So we're now ready to work on getting the armrest in. Place the armrest, lower tray, into the frame here, slides in there. You're going to put these two covers back on. I'm just finishing that up here, so they just slide in. It's best to do this before you put the pins in, because you can move this around a little bit if you have to. And then you'll hear the last sort of click. There we go. So that's the last of those in place. You're now ready to put the upper lid, or the padded part, in. So, 2 pins you're going to put in with the flat and the tab, the guide on it. When this is in place, that's oriented up. So, you have that up, you'll see it lines up fairly well. There we go. And we'll slide in place. So you do that to both sides. You're going to push them in. You'll hear a click. That click is this tab here snapping into place inside, and then you know they're both home and you're ready to put the springs in. Once you have the pins pushed in, you need to put the spring back in. So you can see here this tab, this spring goes in this slot. Okay, now you need your channel locks again. You're going to grip this part of the spring and you're going to rotate it around the other way. And then it's going to go through this groove here, and then it's going to spring back and hold in place. There we go. So, you see that? Spring loaded down, running down that way. So you've done a rotation on it, and that's done. So we've got to do the other side of that, and then we're ready to start putting the trim back in here. Next step, we're going to put this piece of the plastic trim on with the ears here that cover those pins and springs and the hinge mechanism. Now it kind of takes 2 hands here, so it's going to be difficult for me to film it while I do it, but it's just a matter of pushing that down into place, moving these up and over these 2 pins here. So I have this plastic frame snapped into place now, so that covers the hinge pins and the springs. Now is when you put these 2 screws in. Feed the wire through this piece as well before you put it down, and then put these 2 screws in. So this piece and the actual center console molding get screwed down together. So ignore the previous moment in the video where I say put those screws in to the center console, because they have to go in after this is put in place. So put those 2 screws in, and then we're ready to clip the other pieces in. Tray with the door on it is now back in. The 2 screws with the plastic clips in them push into place and screw down there, so that's secured now down there. So it's just a matter of popping the old ashtray back into place. There we go. And that's ready, so now we can move on to putting the 2 trays in here. So this is sort of a coin tray, I guess, and this is a coin holder. That goes in first because the other piece sits on top here. So that'll just slide up under there and then clip down. So that's a coin holder under there. And then we're going to put the cup holder in. So the cup holder, there's a shaped angle here, so that should match. There we go. Okay, we just drop this little plastic tray in there. There we go. Another part of the interior back together. So, I hope the video was helpful. I tried to provide as much information as I could to make it as easy as possible not a difficult job, but it's nice to know where all the little tricks are. If you like the video, appreciate if you hit like and subscribe if you're interested in the channel. I have other videos there, especially the ones looking at refinishing the console and refinishing the leather, and there'll be more added as I continue to work on the project. Anyway, thank you for watching.